Hello dear students, welcome to EduHunt video lecture series. This is Lata Krishna dealing with biology and we are discussing about reproductive system. In animals, the reproductive system be like organs, reproductive organs will be there, and these organs are associated with release or production of sex cells called gametes. And these gametes are involved in a process known as syngamy or fertilization. Fertilization will result in the formation of a zygote. This zygote undergoes a determined division called cleavage and forms an embryo. This embryo will develop into a complete individual. So these are the various processes involved in reproduction of animals. We have been discussing about male reproduction system or male reproductive system. In male reproductive systems, the primary organs of reproduction, sexual reproduction, are testes, and they are meant for production of sperm, the male gametes. This is the lateral view of a section of this male reproductive system. And in the previous session, we have discussed that testes that are formed during development of embryo in the abdominal cavity, they will not lie there. They will not stay there. They just come down into the sac-like structure called the scrotum. In this scrotum, this is the scrotum, lining of the scrotum, in which the testes lie. Actually, at the time of production, they are present in the abdominal cavity. At the time of birth, they just move into the sac-like structure, that is the scrotum. Why? Because we have also mentioned the answer that there should be a difference of 2 to 2.5 degrees centigrade temperature. There should be a difference of temperature between the scrotum, between the testis and the remaining body. Let's see, this is the scrotal sac in which the testes lie, and there is a joint. It is like a canal. That is called the inguinal canal. Yes, inguinal canal. It facilitates the passage of the testis from abdominal cavity into the scrotum at the time of birth. And that joins together at the apices of the lobules to form straight tubules or tubuli recti, which enter the mediastinum. These are the structures that are involved in testis, that is in formation of the seminal fluid. release of seminal fluid. Here these tubules, all the tubules, that is tubuli recti or the tubules, several tubules, they form a network, a huge network of these tubules is called rete testis. Rete testis, and this rete testis fuse to form 10 to 20 efferent ductules. Duct is a little bit larger tube. Ductule is a minor tube-like structure. The tubules that form a framework or a network is known as rete testis. Rete testis, where all these are present, where all these are found. These are actually found here. This is the structure where I am now discussing about, where all these structures are present. Just relate to this picture. In this structure itself, so many ductules or tubules arise and they form a network called the rete testis, and this rete testis fuse to form 10 to 20 efferent ductules called the vasa efferentia. Vasa efferentia or ductuli efferens. Ductuli efferentis. Vasa efferentia or ductuli efferentia. These efferentis. These are the structures which are produced by the fusion of rete testis. Rete testis is a network of so many tubules. These tubules which join together and form a network, the base network. This network of tubules, they fuse 10 to 20. They fuse these rete testi. The network is called the rete testis, and this rete testis up to 10 to 20, they fuse to form 10 to 20 tubule-like structures called vasa efferentia or ductuli efferentis. What I am trying to say is, all these structures are present in the testis itself. In the scrotal sac, there is a testis, and this testis is formed because of fusion of so many structures like tubules and muscles, tubules, tissues, all together they form a final testis. And now these ductules which we are discussing about, these are the ductules vasa efferentia or ductuli efferentis. These structures come out from upper end of the upper dorsal or posterior surface of the testis. Posterior surface, that is anterior and posterior, that is, it opens into a common tubule which get highly coiled and form called a structure known as epididymis. Finally, it is visible. Now, it is the epididymis. This is the epididymis. This structure. This structure is called, so this is the epididymis. It is the resultant of network of tubules, and all these tubules, they fuse and form vasa efferentia or ductuli efferentis. They come out from the posterior portion of the testis, posterior part of the testis, and open into a common tubule. All these network-like tubules, the ductuli, open into a coiled structure called epididymis. Just now we have seen, yes, this is the epididymis. It is the actual structure resultant of these tubules. vasa efferentia or ductuli efferentis. And these all ductules come out of the upper dorsal portion of the surface of the testis, and then they open into a common tubule called the epididymis. Epididymis is visible here, or ductus epididymis. It is simply epididymis or ductus epididymis. And this epididymis is responsible for the functional maturation of the sperm. Note down this point. Where does the sperm gets matured? The answer is epididymis. Epididymis is responsible for the functional maturation of this sperm. Okay. It has 3 parts, and in man it approximately the size, the length is 6 meters. Up to 6 meters. The size of the epididymis is 6 meter in man. And upper, it has 3 parts. The upper highly coiled part, it is called the caput epididymis or globus major. If we are saying major, there will be a minor. Okate unte will not say anything. If we say larger, there will be a smaller. If we say anterior, there should be a posterior. If we say major, there will be a minor. Remember this, epididymis has 3 parts, the upper, middle and the basal part. The upper part, which is highly coiled, called the caput epididymis or globus major. The upper portion of the epididymis is known as globus major or caput epididymis. The middle part is known as corpus epididymis. The middle part is known as corpus epididymis, and there is a basal part known as globus minor. Basal part, it is least coiled, just relaxed part of the basal epididymis. It is relaxed, it is less coiled, and it is known as globus minor or cauda epididymis. Cauda epididymis. So, finally, the epididymis ante entandi? Epididymis mottham tubules అన్నీ ఫామ్ చేసే నెట్వర్క్, రెటిట్యూబ్యులై ఫామ్ చేసే ఆ నెట్వర్క్ వాసా ఎఫరెన్షియా నుంచి వచ్చే ఆ నెట్వర్క్, ఆ ట్యూబ్యూల్స్, డక్ట్యులై అన్నీ కూడా ఎక్కడ టర్న్ అప్ అయ్యాయంటే ఎపిడైడమిస్. దే రీచ్ ద ఎపిడైడమిస్. అ కామన్ opening is the epididymis. Finally, all the ductules, tubules, the network, finally they reach and open into a common duct called the epididymis. And this epididymis is the site of maturation of functional sperm. And this epididymis has 3 parts: upper part, middle part, and the lower or basal part. Upper part is highly called the caput epididymis or globus major, and second middle portion is known as the corpus epididymis, and the basal or the lower portion, which is less coiled, and this is known as cauda epididymis or globus epididymis, globus minor. And cauda epididymis, that is the lower part. Cauda epididymis, it enters inside the abdominal cavity from the scrotal sac in the form of vasa or vas deferens or ductus deferens. Just now we have seen vasa efferentia or ductus efferentis. Now we are seeing vasa deferens or ductus deferens. Efferent, all merge. different, differs, that means they diverge. Vas difference or ductus differens. Vasa efferentia, they lead to the epididymis. Now, from this basal portion of the epididymis, that is the cauda epididymis, it enters inside the abdominal cavity of the scrotal sac in the form of a small duct known as vas deferens or ductus deferens. Remember, efferent is the connecting tubule to the epididymis. It is reaching the epididymis. And deferens, vas deferens, it is like outlet. It is like outlet. Vasa efferentia is like inlet and it is an outlet. Just a moment, I'll show you. Yes, vasa efferentia or ductuli efferentis, and these come out of the dorsal part of the testis and they open into, that means they reach the epididymis. They reach the epididymis. They lead into the epididymis. So, what is leading into the epididymis? That is vasa efferentia or ductuli efferentis. Now, we are discussing about the vas deferens or ductuli, ductus deferens. That is like outlet. It is like moving away from the epididymis. And epididymis can temporarily stores the sperm for as long as 1 month. Maximum time of storage of the sperm in this epididymis is 1 month. 1 month, up to 1 month, the sperm can be stored in the epididymis. And here the functional maturation of the sperm takes place. So the storage point is epididymis, as well as the maturation point of sperm is also epididymis. And the wall of the epididymis is made up of 2 layers. The outer layer, circular muscle layer. Outer layer known as circular muscle layer, and inner layer is it is made up of epithelium, inner epithelium. The wall of the epididymis, the upper and the lower wall, or the outer or inner wall. The outer wall is made up of muscles and inner wall is lined with epithelium. Epithelium is a basal connective tissue. And wall of the vasa efferens or vasa deferens is also made up of 2 layers, like we have seen the epididymis. The outer layer, that is the circular muscle, formed of circular muscle, and the second layer is like in same case as we have seen in epididymis, the epithelial layer, epithelium. The outer layer is the circular muscular layer and the inner layer is it is made up of epithelium. It is epithelial layer. The sperm reach the abdominal cavity due to the pulsation of vas deferens. Okay, due to pulsation of this, like contracting and relaxation, because it has muscles. Because of these pulsations, like rhythmic pulsations, like as we have seen in, we know that heart shows pulsation, the rhythmic contractions and relaxations. Like that, it may be a rhythmic or not, but it shows the pulsation movement. Because of that pulsation movement, the sperm reach the abdominal cavity, which makes the movement of this sperm only because of these pulsation movements of the vas deferens makes the sperm to reach abdominal cavity. And vas deferens runs upward and enter into the abdominal cavity. Both vas deferens coil around that is ureters. ureters of their respective. Ureters are nothing but these are emerging from kidneys, excretory system. Okay, both vas difference, we have two vas difference, and both the vas difference coil around the ureter to their respective sides and then dilate to form ampulla. I'll show you the picture. Yes, here it is the spermatic cord we have seen in the previous discussion. Yes, spermatic cord. The testis body wall and then abdominal cavity through a cord. It reaches the abdominal cavity with a cord, that is spermatic cord. I'll show you the spermatic cord. This is the spermatic cord. Yes, this is. And now we are speaking about the epididymis. This is epididymis. This part, vasa efferentia or the ductules reach and open into the epididymis, this part. Here the sperm stored up to 1 month. The sperm can be stored up to as long as 1 month. And then this is the vas deferens, that is, here it is the vas deferens. You can see that here from epididymis, vas deferens is coming out. It is vas deferens. Because of the pulsation movement of this vas deferens, the sperm move into the abdominal cavity. This is the epididymis, and these are the kidneys. Kidneys, they are giving out the ureters. These are the ureters, the tube-like structures that is emerging from the kidneys. These structures, what we have mentioned here is these vas deferens, the green color structures in the diagram, shown in the diagram, these vas deferens, they coil around ureters and form the ampulla. These are the ampulla, green color structures on both sides. We can see only, as it is a section, we can see only one single kidney. On other side also there is a kidney, or we have sectioned it, no? That's why it can be eliminated. Only one part, only one half of the portion is visible here. The other half will have another kidney. So the vas deferens coil around the ureters. They coil around the ureters and their on respective sides and dilate into structure known as ampulla. They dilate into ampulla, and one pair of seminal vesicles are there, and they are situated on the dorsolateral side of the urinary bladder. This is the urinary bladder. These are, here it is, an arrow is shown. This arrow is just above the vas deferens. And now I'll show you. This is the urinary bladder. This is urinary bladder. In red color it is the urinary bladder. Okay. These are the ureters. The tube-like structures are ureters. The vas deferens coil around the respective ureters and reach structure known as ampulla. They dilate into structures known as ampulla. These are the ampulla. Okay. Ampulla of ductus deferens. There are one pair of seminal vesicles and are situated on the dorsolateral side of the urinary bladder. Urinary bladder is like there are two kidneys and they give out two ureters, and these two ureters they lead to the a bladder like sac like structure called the urinary bladder, and which opens separately before the terminal ends of vas deferens. And so the terminal ends of vas deferens they meet in the to form a single ejaculatory duct in each side. On both the sides, they open into a single ejaculatory duct. So, this is about the male reproductive structure. Finally, this is the picture of male reproductive structure where we have mentioned the spermatic cord. It is the cord-like structure which enables the passage of the testis into the scrotal sac, and then scrotal sac which encloses the testis, and testis previously they are formed in the abdominal cavity, and there is inguinal canal through which the testis pass into the scrotum and it settles in the scrotum because to maintain the temperature, lower temperature. And also the wall is made up of muscles. The contractions of muscles, they lead to the changes. They respond to the changes in the temperature. If the temperatures are lower, it contracts, and if the temperatures are little bit warmer, then they relax because of these muscular movements. And then we have seen vas, the epididymis. Epididymis is seen, and epididymis is formed by the vas efferentia, the ductules, they open up into the epididymis, and this epididymis will form a duct called the ductus deferens or vas deferens. These vas deferens, they coil around the ureters on their respective side, and they open into they dilate into ampulla of ductus deferens or ampulla. And then finally, they separately open into ejaculatory duct, ejaculatory duct on each side of the urinary bladder. And this is about the male reproductive system, where we have seen testis, scrotal sac, epididymis, retitestis. Retitestis is nothing but a small tubules. They form a network. This network will form 10 to 20 vasa efferentia. These vasa efferentia will form, they reach the epididymis. And this epididymis will have three parts, the upper, middle and lower part. This the epididymis is the structure where the sperm get maturation. At the same time, the sperm can be stored up to 1 month. So this is about the male reproductive system. I hope you all have understood the structure. If not, you just see the picture. You just see the picture by labeling, by looking in the labeling, you can understand the concept. So this is the structure of male reproductive system and the details of male reproductive system. And we'll see the additional structures in the next session. Goodbye.